ladies, and welcome to your next video talking about how your body burns calories as a whole. And after this video, the aim would be that you have a better understanding then that if you overeat, it's okay to kind of go over your calories for a day or two here or there, but if you do it on a continuous basis, then you will have a good kind of educational reason behind, well, this is why I'm putting on weight. So remember I spoke about the BMR. The BMR is your basal metabolic rate. It's your metabolism. It's all your organs, everything that you need to fuel your organs. These are the calories with your BMR. So your BMR can work up to 70% of your daily calorie burn. And how do we calculate this? This is TDEE. So you've heard me speaking about this before. It's the total daily energy expenditure. So this is science research of how somebody's body burns calories as a whole. Again, it's a good estimate. It's like logging your calories. It's a great estimate, but it's the guidelines that the medical field work off. So for instance, if you ever knew someone that was in a coma or lying in bed and wasn't moving and had to be fed, either peg fed or tube fed or whatever, them guys still need a certain amount of calories every day because they need to fuel their BMR. They need to fuel their organs, because if they didn't, they would deteriorate quite quick as well. So, and I know this because I've personally been through this watching someone in a coma, and I was really fascinated of, why are you giving him that much food? He's not moving. So then when I researched the analogy behind it, I went, it's all clicks together now. And at this stage, that was 6 years ago. And I was well into my career at that stage. But when I learned how it actually worked, I went, wow, this is actually really fascinating. And the more I got into it, the more I was like, why are we doing juice diets? Why are we under eating? Do that and go under 1,000 calorie diets every day. That's how we yo-yo diet, and we just mess up our metabolism. Do you know when someone says, oh, my metabolism isn't working properly? That could either be that they're in a sedentary job, they're not moving, they don't do any exercise, and they're continuously overeating to the amount that their body needs, and they put on weight. That's a slow metabolism. A slow metabolism could be someone that yo-yo diets all the time, be really good Monday to Friday, and then eat like 5,000 or 6,000 calories every day after the weekend. That's yo-yo dieting. So by giving you guys calorie goals, as in for fat loss, maintain and gain, you know what the story is, that if you were in your gain every day, that means you're going to put on weight. So let's get back to how your body burns calories as a whole. Let's treat our body like a car. You're after buying a new car, it's a 2 litre, and you filled it with diesel for the first time. You're watching the pump to see when it's full. So it makes that sound that it's getting fuller, and you can hear the diesel coming up off the cap. If, let's just say it was €80 to fill the car, it's full to the gills, and you're going to spend that €80 for the day because you're a rep driving around. So that €80 is going to be gone for the day because you know that you're really busy for 14 hours, 16 hours. Imagine if you try to overfill that car. What would happen? The diesel will fall down the ground, all your money will be on the floor, and it'll be waste of money. The car won't accept it, because the car will only accept the amount of fuel it needs to survive for as long as you keep driving until it's gone. Our bodies, unfortunately, I'd love if they were the same and we had a button inside of us to go, enough, that's it, you don't need any more, just drink water. But we don't. What happens is when we overeat, our bodies are designed to put more fat on. So when we overeat, and we know that we're overeating, we get the pains in our belly, and we might feel a little bit sick, but we keep doing it because we don't know the difference when there's sugar coming in and our brain wants it, and we just maybe self-meditating with food. We overpower that full feeling with self-soothing. But now I'm going to give you the science. It'll help you kind of understand a little bit more of how much our body needs calorie-wise, and when we overeat, what happens to calories. Okay, so we know our BMR is our basal metabolic rate, our metabolism. I love that our metabolism is our organs. The bigger the organ, which is our muscle, the more we burn. Deadly. What's this one then? So let's just say potentially your BMR, which is your organ, let's just say you're doing resistance training once or twice a week and walking, all that, your metabolism can potentially burn 70% of your daily calories. So if your daily calories, which is say for fat loss, is 1,800 and going in the middle of the road, as you know, your height has a lot got to do with your calorie goals. The smaller in height you are, the less of a person you have to feed, so the less of the calories you potentially have per day. So for argument's sake, 1,800. So 70% of your 1800's already burned through your BMR because you have a good healthy BMR. You do resistance training twice a week, you walk every day, and you're not too bad. You kind of watch what you eat a little bit. So NEAT, what's NEAT? NEAT is your non-exercise energy. So non-exercise means physical weight exercise, like lifting weights. That's me moving around now. That's burning calories. Cooking burns calories. Going to the toilet burns calories. Walking around your house burns calories. NEAT is walking. It's steps. So this is steps. So guess how much your steps could potentially burn, that if you get between 5,000, minimum 5,000 and we'll say 10,000. If you get more, you're burning way more. Guess how much of your daily calorie burn? 15%. But you need to get between 5,000 and 10,000 steps. 10,000 is a great day. Over 10,000 is an absolute amazing day. But minimum 5 every day. I prefer to be consistent rather than get 10 one day and none the other day. I prefer you to be consistent every day because then you're creating a nice good habit. 5,000 is totally achievable even for someone working in an office in a sedentary job. And then after that, you know that you're burning into extra fat on your body that's just sitting there. So before we even go anywhere at all, you have 15 and 70. So that's before we even add in weights or anything like that, or resistance training or gym work or whatever. You have 85% of your 1,800 calories burnt. Just getting up out of bed, walking around 5,000 steps during the day, you have like what, 1,600 calories burnt out of 800. Amazing. Now, what's TDEF? Thermal effect of food. So when you eat, that chewing process is digestion. Obviously it goes through a bit of a process down along. You burn calories for that process. So imagine if you ate your 3 meals a day, or maybe 4 small meals a day, you're getting that thermal effect of food. Guess how much that burns with each meal? 5% of your food. So if you had a 3,000 calorie meal and you did a bit of chewing process and the digestion, you burned 5% just by eating of that meal. So 5% of 300 is gone in that meal. Amazing. Now what is EAT? Exercise activity thermogenesis. The amount of energy or calories you burn out of the total daily calories if you did resistance training or heavy load workout or something different than walking. Guess how much? 5%. Why so low? Because you're not going to be working out and doing resistance training all day, every day, like you would NEAT. You're constantly moving with your NEAT. You're not going to be in the gym all the time, every hour of the day. It's not possible. But the reason resistance training, which is weights, so this is your food, this is your weights. The reason weights, it's only 5%, but guess what it does? It boosts your BMR because it boosts your organ, which makes you work at your 70% max of your BMR, which is your metabolism. You boost your metabolism by lifting weights. So I hope you can understand after watching this video of how your body burns calories as a whole, and why I give you how the TDE calculator works, total daily energy expenditure. If you are on a calorie deficit of whatever figure, we'll just say 18, 70, 85, 95, you have 95% of your 1,800 calories burnt before you even do anything else. So now you can see that if you did anything extra, or went for extra walks or extra steps, or maybe worked a little bit harder doing your resistance training, I might lift heavier weights today, all that is extra calories burnt. So you're still doing the same thing, but it's extra calories burnt. Lifting heavier weights, moving a little bit more, boost your metabolism, which means you're burning those daily calories quite quick. What happens then if you overeat? So what happens if you overeat? So you go over your calories. If you go over your calories, guys, 1 or 2 days a week, it's no problem. That's why I gave you a weekly target that you can divide out then. You can have 3,000 on Saturday, 3,000 on Sunday, which is 6, and you're left with whatever then. It's 5,000 or maybe 7,000 to divide out 5 days a week. Do you know, I wouldn't recommend going under 1,100 calories, but I would recommend that, yeah, you can go to 1,100 calories 4 days a week and then spend the rest of your calories at the weekend. Over the weekly whole, you still kept within your calorie burn. You might have went into a little surplus, but the chances are you probably lifted heavier weights. You probably did 10,000 steps instead of 5. That little surplus, the chances are you probably burnt it off anyway. But what happens if you overeat? So let's just say for me in the coffee shop, For example, the 500 calories extra I was having a day with the croissant and the cappuccino. So if I went over by 500 every day, that's £1 a week. But because I was walking in and out of work, I was kind of burning calories anyway. So the chances are I was probably only holding on to about 250 of them calories. And that's why the weight crept on really, really slow. And I went up to 2 dress sizes within 3 months. It was so slow. But I kind of could feel it, but I was ignoring it because I was busy at work and all that. But when I went up to that second or third dress size in the uniform, I went, this ain't happening. So I really zoned in on my food. I really zoned in on logging on my MyFitnessPal for a month. I really zoned in on prepping my meals, going to work. So I knew that 3 of my meals every day were really good and portion controlled, that I wasn't being denied with rice, I wasn't being denied with potato because I was portion controlling them out. And then I had my snack bag. That yes, I have apple and I have an orange, I have some nuts and I have some bars of chocolate. I'd eat the fruit first and then I'll really enjoy the chocolate around my 4 o'clock break, because I used to work 12-hour shifts, my 4 o'clock break or my 6 o'clock break for my boost. I listened to my body and figured out when I needed that chocolate to give me a boost, if that made sense. Some days I didn't eat the 3 meals I brought with me, but whatever meal was left, I saved it for when I came home. That tiredness you get when you come home, I saved my prepped meal for then. So when I came in the door, I put it in the microwave and it's eaten. Eat that first, and still if you want chocolate or whatever, then after that, you want it because you want it, not because you're hungry, if that makes sense. So I hope this helps. That's why I gave you a calorie goal for fat loss, is to let's see what amount of food we can fit and keep you fuller for longer within your day or within your week, and still enjoying your stuff, your takeaways and stuff like that. If you're not quite there yet, that you don't trust yourself in case a takeaway will trigger you to eat for 3 or 4 days unconsciously, that's okay. We'll try build up to that over the 6 weeks, that maybe on week 5 that you're comfortable going, yeah, I'll take Wednesday off and I'll just cook homemade pizza. You're still having the pizza, but you're making a better choice. So during the whole 6 weeks, I want you to still have food, but make better choices. So you're eating low calorie, satisfying food that's going to give you weight loss results. It mightn't be quick, but over a longer period of time, you are going to get them. And my hope is that you don't feel like you're deprived in any way at all, but you're actually feeling good in yourself, that you're making these good swaps. You're thinking about it, you're in the shop, you're looking at the back of calories and you're going, maybe I might have the Snickers bar. It's an extra 100 calories, but it's going to keep me more satisfied with my cup of coffee. It's things like that. It's what works for you. Some people prefer having 3 or 4 small bars because they feel like they're cheating the system. Some people like me want to have the bigger bar because it's nicer, enjoy it, eat it, move on. And then you don't look for anything else because you're actually really full. So I hope you enjoyed this video, TDEE. It might explain calories a little bit more, how your body burns them, how you boost your BMR for longer lasting results and burning calories while you're asleep. Lift weights, get over 5,000 steps per day, anything over that's amazing. 10, 15 is even better again, the odd days, and that's how you know you're boosting your weight loss with the excess fat that you already have on your body as well. That's it guys, and thanks so much for watching the video. Let me know what your take home was underneath this, what you learned from it or what you picked up from it as well. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.